were you intentional about everything? Because you then, hey, you have done a lot of things. Let me remind you. At some point, I remember you telling, you motherfuckers, I say, look, mainstream media, you dead. You know what I'm saying? You had a messaging along those lines. There was a time where you fought with Metro Police. And that's when I saw your car is white, Mercedes. I've never seen that car, but through those things, I picked up that I saw the kid today. I'm like, maybe he's driving the C-Class.
No.
But what I'm saying, that's why I picked up, this guy must be driving a white Mercedes Benz. Right. Because of those videos.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. Then ultimately you were sent to jail. You spent 18 days in jail. But out of all these things, remember I said I got introduced to you during the squabbles and those video. That's the first video I saw you. From there, you went into different podcasts and then you landed on TJ's Hustler's Corner. But you've been doing all these sorts of things. You went to Atamafukate's podcast. I watched that podcast as well. You understand that? I was trying to figure out Nota. All those things. You even spoke about the fact that you even spoke about the fact that you spoke about the fact that McG, how Saul got that job at Kaya FM. You know what I'm saying? The things that you've been saying. To an extent, I mean, when you think about everything, you realize that Nota is a brand that is difficult to destroy, difficult to kill. How did you do it? Were you intentional from the beginning?
I wanted to be omnipresent. You understand? And I wanted to make sure that top to bottom, the entire family knows me. From Okoko. I mean, to Nana. They know me.
When you went to different podcasts, you've been into...
Even now, it's only this year that all white people know me. There were some white people, the white people that know black people stuff that know me. Yeah, the white people that are hip. Now all white people know me in South Africa.
Nota, wait.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wait, Nota.
There was a time where colored and Indian people didn't know me.
Yes.
Now all colored and Indian people know me. You understand? There was a time when black people didn't know me. Those are the first people I started with. Now all black people in South Africa know me. You know what I mean? When all black people in South Africa know you, a lot of black people all over the African continent know you because a lot of the African continent is in South Africa. So Nigerians know me. Congolese know me. Kenyans know me. You know what I mean?
Wait.
I'm known in more African countries than I've been to.
Wait, we'll come back to that one. So, were you intentional about traveling to almost all podcasts? And I'll tell you why. I've seen you in podcasts where you like, the numbers here are too low. Too low for Nota, being Nota. You will go into a podcast where there's 5,000 subscribers, but you'll go there. And then equally, we will see you at Hustler's Corner at the time, over 100,000 subscribers. You were there. Penuel Show, good numbers, you were there. You will visit podcasts with lower numbers, good numbers, excellent. You went to all of them. Why?
Because of that. That's the thing. Is that you know that I went to all of them. That's part of my brand. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you trust Nota, it's because he's not doing this for money. He's not doing this because he's sponsored. He's gone to all of these guys. Do you understand? Which means he's got a message to share. You know what I mean? An important message. He's making the effort to share the message. He's not being called. He's not being sent. There's no one who's pulling strings for him. And that's it. And that makes my message more authentic. Another thing is that I bring value to those platforms, especially the smaller ones, because they get credibility. Even if they don't get views, they get credibility. You've had Nota, at least that's someone that we've known and we've seen. There are people who now watch them differently because they had me on. There are people who would have never been a guest on that platform, but because they've had me on now, someone wants to become a guest, whether they like me or don't. You know what I mean? So, that's it.
Wait, so you are saying if I want some guests now, I can simply say, guys, I had Nota on my platform. Can you join me?
Yeah. There's lots of people that have done that. that have seen, Nota was on this platform. Oh, who's this guy? Then they watch more videos of you. I'd like to be on this platform, actually.
Did you spend any money in rebranding? I will say rebranding because at that time before the breakup, I don't think you were this Nota that we got to know now. I think you were more focused on behind the scenes, doing whatever you were doing, even if you were known.
I
not
spend
that
money
much.
on myself. I don't spend money on things to make me famous or whatever. Like promotions or I don't know. I don't need to do that. I don't even have a verified Twitter account anymore because I was like, you know what? People are going to say I'm tweeting for money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't need to.
Your choice of words on Twitter, you chose what authority?
Moral authority.
Why?
My Wi-Fi is the moral fiber. At home, my Wi-Fi is the moral fiber.
Let's explain that.
It's self-explanatory. You better be watching what you're doing on the moral fiber. You see when you connect to my Wi-Fi?
Yes.
And you see it's the moral fiber. What are you going to do on that Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
You're going to behave yourself. Yeah, are you not?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's part of branding. The moral authority. I am the one who's got the authority of the morals. And I've been calling out all the nonsense that we see from start to finish.
That's where I was going.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that I'm the one who's in charge. If I say, no, this is wrong, it's wrong. You understand? And I don't care who to ban on PSI. I'm so consistent that you will get tired before I'm done.
Tell me something. Many people will tell you, we don't want controversies in our brand. But you've been doing, like I'll even say you've shown them.
No, they don't want competition. They want to be bigger than the brands of the influencers. Me, I'm bigger than all the brands.
But I'm saying, even the influencers, some people will say, I don't want controversies.
Yeah, I know.
They want a clean brand. I would say
they want
clean
to
with
be
inverted
usable.
commas.
They want to be usable.
Yes, you're right. But you, seemingly, you don't care. Why?
I don't want to be controlled. You understand what I'm saying? So they can't take my brand from me. My brand is etched in the hearts of people. It wasn't made because I was pointed at and then I was put onto TV. I did all these things. I also did the auditions for TV and everything else and got, sidelined and everything else when I was like really good. Like my mother would tell me all the time, like, yeah, you're actually so much better than all these other kids. Like, I actually don't understand why you didn't get through to the next round. Or I was like, and I didn't care because I was like, it's fine. I'm smart enough. I can figure out something else that I can do that I'll be great at. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was the be all and end all. So I didn't really think too much about it. But now when I think back, I think like, actually, that's very funny, because it's very funny. Like, think about it. Like, imagine, I was, how old was I? I was 9 or 10 years old when I met MacG. Nah?
When you met?
MacG.
Okay.
So we've known each other since we were kids, since we were in primary school.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, like, even in the spaces that we got identified at, like, I used to see him go to castings and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You get your cards taken and all those things. Those kids that were within that space, at that age group, and he's a little older than me, like 3 years older than me. Like, when I see how their trajectory turned out because they were on those platforms, and I see how my trajectory turned out, I see that I never sought it because I knew I could get it. And also, I had the confidence to pursue what I was doing because I had my sister as an example. Like, my sister started out as a model, you know what I mean, when she was 4 or 5. Well, actually as a baby. Before she even started speaking, she was a baby model. So you see model for Sales House, all these things, these clothing stores, do adverts. Then she presented, KTV. She acted on Soul City. So, these are in the 90s. In the 90s, my sister was an actress on TV. Like, she was on SABC1. The whole family was watching her. You know what I mean? There was a scene where she got burnt, and then my grandmother was like, why is my daughter burning on the TV? My grandmother was very worried. So I watched this as I'm growing up in front of my eyes, Also very strange, you've got Soul City coming into your house as a baby. It's, CIA. Yeah. So, seeing her now go off that path and pursue a career in academia and become an economist, it's like, damn, All these things that people think is cool. Like when we were all kids, everyone wants to be the YoTV presenter, whatever. Or the YoTV presenters are the coolest kids. Or the KTV presenters, they're on TV, they're the coolest kids, right? And my sister went from being the coolest kid, being on TV, going to NSA, being with all these other famous kids, and then saying, screw that, I don't want to be famous, I'm going to pursue a career in academia. And still being cool, and still being like, oh, she's still a G. I was like, actually, yeah, I can still be a G. So that helped me in the way in which I came up in my career, because I didn't feel like I needed to be the on-screen star. So what that did is that made me help myself get into other positions where I am now the one who decides who becomes the on-screen star. Or I'm the one who's actually choosing the on-screen stars, or making sure that this on-screen star becomes the biggest on-screen star. Do you understand? And therefore, I became of service to the industry more than anything else. So whether or not I was famous, I had skin in the game. So whether or not you knew me, the people that know what's going on know me. And when they see me speaking, they know who it is. And they can make things happen.